personalities. I just want to ask you, all of you here, have you been in a small group before? Yes, right? You have in one way or another have joined a small group. Have you met any difficult people? Who has not met any people with some difficult personalities? If you put out a hand, means you are the one that is difficult. Okay, I'm sure that we recognize that we are all different. Chinese say 一种米养百种人 Okay, we eat the same rice, but we have 100 types of different personalities. Anyway, in this topic, this is listed from a book that was shared about small group. All these types, which do you think you have experienced? You can take a look. The political junkie, the Pharisees, the egomaniac, the network builder, the critic, the boss, the contrarian, the story topper, the wanderer, the comedian. Each explains the meaning by itself very clearly. For example, what do you think about the people who are the political junkie? What do you think? This kind of people, they come with what motive or reason? Anti-PAP. So they'll sell the thoughts to you. Go Hougang where Mr. Pham stays. Right? Hougang is always the Workers' Party. Or go to Aljunied. So it is not something that we would like to see in a group because it will deviate away from our topic. So how do we handle these people is what we want to talk about. Definitely there will be some that you meet. What about the Pharisees? Who are they? I'd like to hear from you. What do you think? Who are the Pharisees? Well, they are the holier than thou attitude people because they think they know a lot. So what you say does not carry any weight. Yeah, it is what I say that is more important because I know more than you. Yeah. What about the egomaniac? This one will brag about all the successes, forgetting to give glory to God. Or they may say, I thank God, but they don't really thank God in the way they present themselves. And so they will share, their successes, but glory to themselves and putting you down in a way. The network builder, this one I experienced personally. So later you want to see if you experience it. These people came with ulterior motives. They joined a small group. They may have benefited, but they wish that this is a network place where they can, let's say I'm an insurance agent. Okay. I really respect Brother Elder Eddie Chong. You all know who he is, right? And also in Thompson Chinese Church, Brother Albert Xia. You all know who I'm talking about, right? They are all insurance agents. But I never heard them talk about insurance in the church or in a small group or setting or whatever. But we will go to them. I either go to Eddie or go to Albert to get my insurance. Because they are so trustworthy and they don't come here to do networking. But when I was in Thompson Church, I had a father bringing a daughter who has just started her career in insurance, and then give us the cards, business cards. I don't know how to reject him, because both are seekers. They are not our members. Both are seekers bringing. So you cannot say no to them, right? But if it's church member, maybe easier to handle them. Okay? But you will see this in a small group probably also. The critic, 很神秘 in Chinese we say. Alright? They come and they go, you don't know who they are they really are. I'm not sure whether you have met this kind of people or not. So how do we handle all this as we think about this? The boss, how? What is the boss? 指挥的啊，老板 okay? Yeah, I say this, you just do lah, okay? And because I'm the boss, so it's a little bit bossy. The contrarian. Who is a contrarian? Whatever you say, sure, he will counter you, okay? For the sake of countering you, for the sake of saying just the opposite. Do you see these people? Maybe you, okay, maybe me, alright? And story topper. 哇，这个故事高手啊 He can bring you from point A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but never come back to the actual discussion. Can go one big round. Dr. Saripur, I'm not sure whether you remember this pastor. Because I was a teenager then when I came to church. Forgot his name. He was the president of Malaysia and Singapore mission then. I'm not sure whether you know who I'm talking about, but when I hear his sermon, his introduction is 10 minutes. It will go round and round and round before he talks about the sermon topic. Can't remember his name. So you cannot identify that person with me then. Not Dr. Punchayat. Okay, it's one of, not Pastor Joshua Mok, before him, the president. I remember him, he would just tell a lot of stories. And it's actually very interesting. But now that I think about it, it's nothing to do with the sermon. Yeah. So this is a story topper, tell you a lot of things, but nothing to do with that small group topic. And the wanderer, yes, almost similar to the storyteller, but this person would just wander from one place to another and never hit the right spot. The comedian, you enjoy the comedian, definitely, but sometimes it's overboard. It's just telling jokes after jokes, make you happy, but nothing to do with what the small group is supposed to discuss and talk about. So these are some of the things that they list out in this book called Challenging Personality Types. How do we handle them? So you choose one each, enough already. One group choose one each, you discuss, then you come and share with us. Here maybe you can take two lah, Maybe here's what, 5 of you one group. 5 of you one group, 4 of you one group. Okay, you're one group. Aaron, you want to join which group? Okay, 中文组那边一组，你们自己选不要选一样的Maybe I should. Okay, for this group, you can choose from number 1 to number 3. Okay, the first 3. For this group, you choose 4, 5, or 6. Okay, 4, 5, or 6, and then this group will choose 7, 8, and then here will be 9, 10. Okay, so I repeat, this group. You can choose the first 3, the political, junkie, the Pharisee, the egomaniac. Choose one. Okay, this group, the network builder, the critic, the boss. This group, the contrarian, or the story topper. And this group, the wanderer, or the comedian. So if you have this person in your group, how do you want to handle them? What's the strategy that you do with them? Because you want to be, you want to be, in a way, very tactful to tell them, okay, to share with them. I'm sure you don't want to tell them, hey, please stop talking, you are leading us nowhere. You can't do that in the group, right? But this thing has happened. How you want to handle this type of small group member if you are a facilitator? Okay? So we have 4 groups. First 3, choose one. Next 3, choose one. So this group, you choose the 7 and 8, the contrarian and story. And then 中文组你们的漫游者和活宝你们要怎样处理？如果小组里面有这样子的人物？Okay, I give you 5 minutes to discuss. So that's the question I put up here now. How do we address the issue of small group member with challenging personality? And I've given you a choice of those. So this is a question, and I bring it back to here. Okay. Yes. You choose one, enough. Yeah, just discuss one. Yeah. So, have you all decided which personality? Number 3, yeah? Okay. What about y'all? Which one do y'all choose? The boss, okay. Yeah. What about you? Which one do y'all choose?
Sorry, Papa.
Okay. 你们选哪一个？活宝 OK， 等一下 later one of you will come and share OK， yeah one of you choose one， 反正要选一个出来讲OK。Yeah, 2 more minutes. All right, your time is up. I hope that you have come to a good conclusion how to address the issue. We'd like to invite the first group. I think they've chosen the third one, the egomaniac. Who would like to come and share? What is your strategy? How to address the issue? Aaron. Okay, come please. Oh, they were all pointing at you. Come. No, you need to come to the front, because recording. Yeah.
Test.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe we define an egomaniac a bit first. So we thought that it's someone that like perhaps dominates the conversation during a cell group, or someone that need to have things go their way. Like like they tend to like basically try to make things about themselves lah. So that was like our definition. And so we were discussing that perhaps there are many ways why they end up like that, right? Like perhaps how they were brought up, or like what the experiences that they went through. But I guess the main like way that we all agreed to, like when dealing with this kind of people, is that I think first and foremost, I think we have to like try to talk to them away from the group if possible. Like try not to like confront them, or like deal with this, or like deal with their like issue in front of the big group lah. But then at the same time also, when we talk to them, perhaps we should bring someone that has like, I guess, a figure of authority, or like someone that they respect lah, and then try to get them to see their ways and whatnot. So of course, like during the session itself, I think the important thing is that we need to give a voice to like everyone. So need to try to, of course, like redirect the conversation or the topic back to back to God, back to the topic at hand. So yeah, those were the main things that we discussed like regarding this. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Aaron. Okay. Aaron, just want to ask you, among your groups here, have you met someone like that before?
That's why we say.
Sorry.
I think that's why we went at the start. We defined it as someone that like perhaps likes to focus like the conversation on themselves lah. Like I don't think we have met. None of us have met someone that's like not so extreme. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah lah. So perhaps they exhibit a bit of it, but not to the extent where it's like a full-on.
We are thankful that we have not really met someone like that. Okay. Now, this group, who is the representative? Okay. May I know your name? Maijan. Paijan.
Yes.
Paijan. Where are you from, Paijan?
Philippines.
The Philippines, Okay.
Filipino ministry.
Oh, this is Paijan. First time knowing your name, actually.
Like Azerbaijan.
Okay, so you have chosen the boss, right?
Yes.
The boss. Wow, what would you like to share with us? How to address this issue? Yeah.
So actually, we kind of talk about we're privileged. We have the leaders in the care groups. So we talk about the boss. One is a seeker and one is the member. So for the seeker, the experience is that she likes to take over the kitchen.
Oh.
Yeah. For me, first it's good. Yeah, but since care group is, you need to integrate everyone, so that's why try to let her do her things, but just to box her there in that area, not to really take over the entire program or like that. Just the kitchen.
Okay.
Also, if it's a member, so likes to take over the discussion like that. So it says that the facilitator should really know when to stop her or him and let the other talk. So basically, we don't want that boss to be the facilitator because he or she would talk all the time. Yeah.
The boss is also the facilitator, yeah?
We should not let them
Yeah.
be the facilitator.
Okay.
So I
All
think
right.
that's all. So the facilitator should know when to stop them.
Okay, but thank you, Bajan. It's an interesting aspect of I never really thought that you can be boss over the kitchen area. Yeah, but that's quite true also in a way. Yeah, I think in a way we may have seen it here and there. Okay, thank you, Bajan. And then the third group you have chosen. Yes, the third group you have chosen. Who is coming to share with us?
Yeah, I got appointed.
Okay.
Can I stand here?
Can you come because we want the recording to be. You are Ellen.
Yeah, from the
Helen.
women's group, Helen.
Oh, I went with you to visit Helen Yi.
Correct.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we define the story topper as someone who has a lot of stories to tell. We currently have two seekers. She's got a lot of life stories to tell. The other one has toned down a bit, so we'll focus on the one who has a lot of life stories to tell. Meaning that in the course of sharing, she will begin to talk, and then she'll continue to talk, and sometimes you'll just go through a cycle and come back to the same thing. And the story can be heard many, many times over. So we believe that the facilitator has to be very firm. We thought that setting a time limit may be a good thing to do. However, you must be very firm. So if you say 2 minutes, you stop at 2 minutes. Then you must quickly know when to come in and say, hey, look, somebody else need to have a chance to talk. So you must move on to the next person. Or sometimes you must find the appropriate spot to cut in and say, hey, let's move on. So what's the next thing we have to think about?
Can I be so blunt as a facilitator and say, hey, I thought last week you just shared the same story.
We are not quite competent to do that yet. Not yet. Maybe in time, probably we'll have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Helen.
Okay,
thank you so much. Okay, this group, who is our representative to come? All right, Elder Ming Cha will come and share with us. And I think they have chosen the one about the comedian. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so basically our side is talking about the comedian. Okay, so how to tackle this kind of person? Okay, when during the so-called discussion was, right, he came and he talked about something that is funny, like, correct, right? So he's a comedian. So what we our group's discussion is that suggestion is that maybe offline we'll tell the comedians, okay, we'll give them some responsibility. Okay, maybe part of the so-called sharing you need to take on to do it, so that he have a thought of responsibility, so that he won't bluff as a comedian. Right? So this is one way.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second thing is that if he start to become a comedian, then we will want to throw back the question to the person and say, just now what about the questions? Can you share a little bit? Right? We know that it's a good joke, right? But can you share? That means redirect him to answer to the questions again. So this is another way.
So what if he turn your question into a joke also?
Yeah.
I mean, he turned the topic that you give him the part to share into a joke.
So we got another third solution. Okay, that means to say that, right, stop him, and after that, ask the rest of the so-called the guests, right, or the so-called other facilitator, right, say what is the opinion. So we redirect the question back to the original again.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I think of a fourth way lah.
Yes.
But of course, it's just a joke. Everybody don't laugh. When he tells a joke, just be serious. I'm not sure whether he catch our facial expression. Anyway, thank you so much. Due to time constraints, I'm going to pass the time very soon to Pastor Zhao to continue. But overall, there's a general principles underlying the dealing with these people. Let's take a look and see here. See, number one, our motive to help that person is out of love. It's not to condemn or criticize. So it has to start with love. And if possible, to find an opportunity to pray with that person. And don't just kick them out of the group immediately. That you're not welcome. Have a private conversation. I think most of you have suggested that. And help them see how their behavior impact others. If you can be very tactful to tell them if that really helps. And enlist them in a solution like what Elder Mingcha has suggested, giving a little bit of task that is related to the small group matters. And last but not least, focus on the mission of the group. Reiterate to this person, whether it's a seeker or a member, that what is the mission of this group. I just want to also end with these two Bible verses here. In Proverbs 15 verse 1 it says, "A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger." So it really matters when how you relate the issue to that person is very important. And the person can feel it whether you're sincere or not. And in Romans 12:18 it says here, "If it's possible, as much as depends on you, live peaceably with all men." This is not an easy task, but we are given this task as facilitator when we face issues like that with different challenging personalities, how we handle them. May God bless us and guide us with these principles that we have taken from this book, and that we will use them when the time arises. Okay, I'll pass the time now to Pastor Chia Hong. Thank you so much. Okay.
Put the rest in your pocket.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is the next part of the solution, how to deal with people with difficult personalities. Right? Is engaging in confrontation. How many of you think you are good with confrontation? Can you raise your hand? Okay, don't say good. We are all very humble people. How many of you think you are okay with confrontation? Confronting others? Nobody think you all are okay. Wow, very good. That's why you come here, right? Okay, so everyone has their weird things, right? Okay, so whether you are Christian, you are non-Christian, all of us, we have some part of us that can be difficult to deal with, right? Some of us, we hide it better. Some people don't hide it as well, right? So no one is perfect, and a group is the perfect place for imperfect people to belong, right? So this is something we have to remember. The small group is not meant to be the place where everyone is perfect. It's where we are comfortable to be imperfect people. But should we stay that way? Should we? No, right? We should challenge each other to become more like Christ. It's not only a place for us to be together, to accept one another, but it is also a place to grow, right? So we need to engage in challenging conversations sometimes. So in small groups, this is the place where we have to sometimes engage in confrontation in in some way, in a gentle manner. So here are some helpful steps for this is a suggestion from a book. They don't call it a confrontation, they call it a carefrontation, right? So you don't start with a con, you start with a care. Number one, start with prayer, right? Gain wisdom from praying, connect with God, ask God to guide you when you want to confront someone regarding some issue. Maybe someone is being too bossy, right? Our natural instinct may be to shut them off. But pray first, because you never know what God might guide you to. The mood, the attitude when you bring to someone after praying is very different. You are not trying to solve the problem on your own. You are trying to solve the problem with God. Number two, seek spiritual advice. So, talk through the issue or concern with someone you respect spiritually, right? It could be someone in church, could be a leader, could be an elder, could be a senior, could be your pastor, right? Turn to someone whom you can trust and seek spiritual advice. I think this is something that sometimes you're scared to do. We feel that these people, they are already very busy. My pastor, my elder, my leader, these people we respect, sometimes we feel, they are too busy. But actually, they are there to serve a purpose also, right? To help you, to support you. So remember, seek spiritual advice. And number three, have a physical face-to-face conversation, especially when you want to have a sort of confrontation or difficult conversation, right? Sometimes we are tempted, it's easier, you don't see the person, it is less awkward. But if you just message someone and say, hey, sorry, today I think you talk a bit too much in the care group, then they may take the tone not very nicely. People imagine it in the worst way possible. How many of you have experienced before that your message got misunderstood because it was a text message? Anyone? Okay. Quite a few of you. Yeah, even me myself. I sent something totally was harmless, and the person was like, wow, why do you say that? Then I immediately called the person and try to sort it out. Because sometimes people misunderstand, right? So especially difficult things, try to do it more face-to-face, physically. Number four, ask for permission to share some observations about them, right? So when you meet with them, you say, hey, I've noticed something. I feel like I should share with you. Can I have your permission to share? Right? So this is one step that you take that allows them to be a bit less defensive. Right? You take that step, ask them for permission, and you bring them up to them. And sometimes people are self-aware to a certain degree. Right? When you say that, people will reflect also and think about it. And sometimes it is suggested to do this. This is called the sandwich technique. Anyone knows what is the sandwich technique? What do you do?
Yeah, say something nice.
Say something nice, then
Say something nice, and then the bad one, then the nice one. Wow, is that what a sandwich is? But yes, you are right, okay? So, of course, don't come off as very disingenuous and say, wow, your shirt looks very nice. By the way, you talk too much in care group. Don't do that. Give an affirmation about what they really bring to the care group. I think it creates a culture also, right, in your care group, that maybe you affirm the person. Hey, maybe you're talking about a comedian. Wow, we are so glad to have you in the care group because you bring a lot of life, you make it so vibrant, you know. Then maybe you say, but sometimes when you talk when we are discussing some serious topic, do you realize that you sometimes have the tendency to make a joke out of it? Then maybe give them room to respond, right? So you start with something good and sincere, right? Then you share what you want to share also. So this could be something to be done, right? Focus on the issue, not on a person. Be direct and not blunt, right? So just now in the when we were talking about the MBTI, some personalities tend to not like to be too direct, right? So there's some ways to be direct but not too blunt. Sometimes we beat around the bush and hope people get our hints. Many times people don't get hints. Yeah. Not all the time people get hints. Sometimes they do, but when they don't, you have to speak clearly, concisely, but not rudely, right? So this is a challenge. It is an art, it is a skill to be trained, right? Maybe the first 2 times that you do, you confront someone, have a conversation with them, it didn't turn out very well. But you need to have that, you need to train, and maybe the 5th time, the 6th times, you get better, right? So ask them for a response, right? Ask them, so what do you think, right? How do you feel about it, right? Do you think it's possible, maybe when we are talking about more serious things, not to joke, right? What would be an appropriate time to joke for you, right? Then maybe they'll say, oh, during dinner time, maybe after the lesson, but during the lesson, a bit lesser. We can try that, right? And then lastly, follow up with encouragement. So when you confront them, have a difficult conversation about something, during the care group, you notice, hey, they try to change. Encourage them, right? Don't just think, they should have done that long ago. Sometimes we think that way, but encourage them, right? And share this progress they have made. So these are 9 steps that is done. And what I want you to do now, we have a bit of time, is to role play. So pair up with one person. Okay, you can find someone beside you. Okay, you all will take turns, about 3 minutes each, right? At the start, you all discuss first. Discuss what issue are you confronting about to the other person, right? So each of you will have a problem. Then you all will confront one person, 3 minutes. Then the other person, another 3 minutes. Okay? So try to utilize these 9 steps when you are doing that. Okay? Any questions before we role play? No questions? Okay. Okay, so we'll pair up first. Pair up. Anyone issues finding their pairs? Okay, all can, Okay, we'll give you 1 minute to discuss first. 1 minute to discuss what problem are you going to have. What are you confronting about? Okay, 1 minute starts now. Don't confront first. Okay, discuss what is your problems. When I say start with the confrontation or conversation, then you start. Okay, so discuss what is the problem first. Okay, you have 1 minute to discuss each other's problem. Okay, do you all have your problems? Ready? You all are all difficult members now. Okay, so when you role play, try to get into character a bit more, right? And be nice, but don't be too nice also. Don't everything yes, yes, yes. You can try to counter a bit, right? Be gentle, but okay, don't be too hard. Okay, we have 3 minutes. So the first one, person A, confronts person B first, right? So you all decide who to go first, who to be the facilitator first, who to be the difficult person first. Okay, your 3 minutes starts now. "45 seconds for the first round. Okay, the first round should be up, and then now we'll start with the other person. Okay, so the other person confront, starting now. 1 minute left. Okay, the 3 minutes is up. It's a very short practice, but what I would like you to do also is maybe if you can, share with one another one thing that you think the person did well, and one thing, if there's something you feel that person can improve on in the confrontation, maybe you share with them. Okay, so to one another, you can say that now. I'll give you about 1 minute to do that. Okay, last 30 seconds. Okay, hopefully you are done sharing your observations. You see some still finishing. Okay, try to wrap it up. Okay, Ken. Thank you for the time you have taken and energy to role play. It's a very short amount of time, I understand. But hopefully it gives you a glimpse into what it is like to have a difficult conversation. These 9 steps are not the 9 commandments, right? Sometimes you don't have to follow every single thing, right? For example, the sandwich method. Some people are on a low-carb diet. You go straight to the meat. Sometimes it's okay, right? Because sometimes you really just want to focus on one thing. You don't want to come off as you are saying the good thing just to say the bad thing, right? So sometimes you have to go straight to the point, right? So these are guidelines for us. Okay, to end off with, I will ask 2 questions, maybe. The first question is, when we are trying to confront someone about something, sometimes you are scared. If I bring along my core team with me, let's say 3 more people, 4 person to discuss with someone about something, do you all think is suitable? Too overwhelming. Then how many people can there be when having a difficult conversation? 1 to 1? 2 people can? Possible, right? So the general guideline is try to start with at most 2 people, right? Or else you look like you're going for a gang fight, and then the person will become very defensive. It's very hard to be vulnerable, very hard to be very open when it's like 4 people, 5 people against 1 person, and trying to point out all the errors of the person, right? So it may escalate till that point, but at least for the start, best is 1 to 1, at most 2 to 1, right? Don't say, I'm very scared lah. Can 4 of you come with me to talk to the person? You have to think about how the person feels also. Okay? So, last question. Should you ever kick a person out of a group? Okay, anyone thinks, yes, there's ever a case I need to remove a person from a group? Anyone? Only one? Oh, okay, there's a few more. Okay. What are the cases that you need to remove someone? Anyone want to share? After trying the 9 steps, not working, then you remove the person. So if the person is a joker, he keep making jokes, you talk to him, it doesn't improve. Do you remove him straight away or 1 to 9? So time to sing the song, time to say goodbye. Okay, any other thoughts?
When the person is a threat.
When the person is a threat.
And a danger to the group.
And a danger to the group. So they may harm someone,
Yeah.
be it verbally or even physically, emotionally. Okay, yeah. Any other?
But we don't have to kick them out, but we can move them to another group.
So move the wolf to another pack of sheep. I understand. Okay.
Like let's say this person, we are afraid that he might, he is that kind, coming around Maybe this person has shown that he is interested in the girls in the group. And we want to keep our girls safe. So we might put him in another group where there are a lot of men. Yeah.
I'm not interested to go to that group.
Then if he's not interested, then he reveals his intentions. Yeah. Okay. So I think this is very important. I think May was saying also that abuse, right? When harm, danger, abuse, right, arises, have to be very careful. Some are verbal, right? Some people keep putting everyone down. Don't be so stupid, right? So I mean, once in a while, sometimes it's like that. But if it goes on and on, right, keep condescending people, putting people down, then it is harmful to the group in the long run, right? So also, right, as Oilin was saying, if you try to resolve the issue, right, maybe not one time, but maybe you try a few times, right? Maybe you try yourself, maybe try with your core group, maybe you even put the pastor there, still doesn't work. Then if it's very harmful, then you might need to remove the person, right? So this is something that we tend not to do, but in rare cases, it might need to happen. It might need to happen, right? It's really the last resort we try to go to, but sometimes it needs to happen, okay? So we have come to the end of the workshop. Any questions or comments? No? Okay, so hope, when you need to, please have a conversation with some people, caringly and thoughtfully. Maybe when we end, we invite Pastor Pham can give us an ending prayer.
Okay, thank you for your participation. Let's all stand for a word of prayer together. Our Father in heaven, thank you for this workshop to help us to understand that we are not perfect. Each of us has our limitations, but we are thankful that we have Jesus as our example that we can look up to. And as we grow together, help us to help each other to grow into the likeness of Jesus Christ. Give us the right motive, the good intention to care and love for our care group members so that we can all be growing in the grace of our Lord Jesus. But if situation arises that we need to make a sad but needful action, help us to also have wisdom from you. So may you continue to bless and guide us as we learn together so that our small group will be a place where people feel safe, where people feel loved, and as a result, that they will be brought to know Jesus better. So thank you for this time together. May you continue to bless and guide us for the continual, the remaining workshop and plenary. In Jesus' name we